to the second or maybe third installment of the Idle Banter segment of the Fuel Injection podcast. Today we're going to be doing a slightly new idea that Dana came up with, which involves doing automotive-themed Dungeons and Dragons. So, Dana, if you want to kind of explain what it's going to be like, because it's a new idea.
Very loosely based on Dungeons and Dragons, because I don't have any of the proper equipment or expertise. We are going to play through a Top Gear challenge episode, special kind of, with the other three, Cody, Doug, and Layla have already picked their cars. They sent them to me. I sent some stats back, and based on that, we're going to go through one of these kind of Top Gear specials, and their actions will decide will be decided by a random number generator how successful they are. If they've got any luck like me, they're not going to be very successful at all with it. But we'll see if they can get to the end goal by however long we can record for this.
Okay.
Sounds good. Now, I want to mention that none of us know what each other's cars are because we decided to just DM Damon so that it would all be a surprise. And I'm very, very excited to see what everyone else shows.
Right, let's set the scene.
Yeah, we should.
Let me open my notes folder because I have a notes folder with all the locations I'm hoping we can get to. Right, we start on the US-Mexico border at Hiroshima Nogales. I'm terrible at pronunciation. We start in an empty parking lot with some shops in the background. Cody is the first to arrive.
Alrighty, everyone. I bought with 5,000. Actually, it was quite cheap. I have some 2,000 pounds left. I bought an MG ZT. It's a 2.5 liter V6. It is the performance model. It is in a rare color. What, Typhoon or something? It's a blue TBR kind of pearlescent color. Only 15 were made. Only 15. So it's incredibly rare. And this bucket of magnificence was 2,800 and something pounds.
Wow.
Okay.
I had to scour the internet for that one.
I didn't for what I bought.
Layla has arrived.
I have arrived. Okay, so I bought for $7,495 a 2006 Jaguar XJ sedan.
Whoa!
A nice...
Wow. An XJ sedan.
A deep gray color with rear-wheel drive and a V8. A V6.
No, it's an 8. It's an 8. It's an XJ8.
It's a V8. Okay, I thought it was a V6. Maybe that was one of the other ones I was looking at. It's a V8, and it's just magnificent. Who doesn't want a Jag XJ? And I get exclusive rights to be able to go, I can borrow that, and no one will mind because I have a Jag.
And that's a very similar engine to the one that powered Doug's car.
So I take it I'm there next, Well, I have done this properly, y'all. I have bought a 2010 Range Rover HSE in proper British racing green.
Faded British racing green.
Do what?
Faded British racing green. I've seen the ad.
It was a 2010. I mean, the paint holds up like the electronics. Okay, I'm just. But it's a 2010. It's got the 5.0 fuel injected V8. I should be set for mostly anything off-roading.
Right.
If it works.
Well, your task. Apparently, somewhere in Mexico, a drug cartel had imported a McLaren F1. The whereabouts are unknown at the moment, and you three are set to find it. Good luck.
What do we do when we find it, though? Do we gotta run again?
Yeah. No, what we should do is I should steal the F1 and just borrow it, and they won't mind because I have a Jag.
Once you have secured the McLaren, we will find some sort of way to transport it out of here.
Now, wait a minute. It's a McLaren F1, right?
Yeah.
Hey, when we get there, we all three just leave our cars because the McLaren F1 is a 3-seater. So we all just jump into McLaren and take off.
You're assuming that a drug cartel that has long been captured has left this McLaren F1 in a drivable condition.
It's gotta be more drivable than my Range Rover, but I'm just.
I mean,
Right.
if it was owned by Mr. Bean, then maybe not.
So you guys have an entire city and a picture of this McLaren F1. What are you gonna do?
Find the boat. I don't know. I guess we gotta find a port.
Yeah.
And then we gotta try and find reports of how much car trafficking goes on in the area and then check all the ports. I guess
We
that
also
would be.
find a secure way to get across the sea without having our car stolen by another drug cartel.
You've got to first find the car. The aim is to find the car. I was kind of setting up for a part 2 where you'd get the car out. But the aim is just to find the car at the moment.
Okay.
And it's somewhere in Mexico. We know that.
Yes. Yeah,
Yep.
you're on the border, so...
Well,
So I suppose what we. Go ahead, Doug.
well, I was thinking, I'm an off-roader, and I am sure that wherever the cartel is not going to be a perfectly paved road there. So.
Oh, I don't think it's owned by a cartel anymore.
Oh, okay.
It was owned by a cartel, and then the cartel got caught and the car got ditched somewhere.
Oh, so they ditched the car.
Yeah, most of this is fiction out of my mind, although there is apparently a McLaren somewhere in Mexico. But everything else from this point on is just stuff swearing away in the back of my head.
I say we drive to the top of a big hill and look.
Yes.
I think this is quite a flat area from what I surveyed on Google Maps, though. It's quite a large city.
I am sure with my Range Rover I have a giant pair of binoculars. I can look around and see a McLaren somewhere, I'm sure.
It'll be interesting though, because I have rear-wheel drive and Cody has
I think I got front-wheel drive.
exclusive little British sports car, which also I'm guessing has.
No, it's a 4-door. It's a 4-door. It's based on the Rover 75.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a sedan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like a British M3, but front-wheel
Ah.
drive. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
They
but,
didn't make it. They didn't make a V8 rear-wheel drive version out of it once, but they took a Mustang engine, shoehorned that in the front of one of the MG Roves.
I should have looked for that.
So I think Doug may be the only one that can get to the top of a hill, if there even is a hill, because as Damon said, it's quite
I'm gonna check Google Maps now. Well, not Google Maps, so that's too expensive. I'm gonna use Apple Maps.
So while we wait for that, let's talk about some of the other cars we looked at, because I want to know what were the.
Yeah, you guys entertain the people while I try and see if there's a hill.
I began looking actually. It's funny that Cody got an MG because I was looking at an MGB, and then I was like, that's like a 1970s little British sports car. I don't think that's gonna make it. So I was like, maybe something a bit newer, something that's a bit less beat up. So I said, I think I need a Jag because I can just borrow things with it, and who doesn't love a Jag? And it's cheap.
Right.
See, I'm quite impressed. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, I'm quite impressed because I thought about a Jag, and I was kind of thinking of an XK, but I couldn't find any for less than $8,000. I was not that lucky. I had a lot of MGBs as well, though, and I was quite irritated by that because I was like, why are there so many MGBs in the U.S.? Like, we don't have that many Triumphs from what I saw. We don't have that many Austin Healys, but we have a metric crap ton of MGBs. I did, however, find one Jensen Healy that was in really, really good condition. That one was quite tempting. I was like, ooh, do I take the Healy, or do I take this completely bonkers MG that I found on some Gumtree alternative?
I've found a hill.
Yes!
Hill.
You found a hill.
It's quite
let's
tall.
That hill.
So, who are you guys going to take up the hill? Are you going to take all three separately, or you're all going to pile into one?
Separately, I think. Because I'm kind of curious to see if my Jag can get up that hill, and if Damon's MG can get up that hill. Oh, sorry, not Damon. Cody's MG can get up that hill.
How steep is this hill? Hold on. I've got the 3D mode.
You know, the car I should have looked up, now that I think about it, that we do actually have a few of here, is an Opel.
Ooh.
I think that's German though.
Yeah,
It's
Opel's German.
Opel,
Yeah,
like,
Opel's German,
Vauxhall's
Vauxhall's
British, but then both are just rebadged Chevrolet since the 80s. So
That's also true.
some Buicks as well, I think.
we had a you know about the Vauxhall Astra. It's a good little car. I think it's a Chevrolet Lacetti. But we had a
Same
1.6.
as a Chevy.
Huh? Yeah, but we had a 1.6 engine from Germany, I think, so it wasn't terrible.
I did find an Astra. I did see a Vauxhall Astra in my searches, and I almost went for that too. It was a 1.6 liter 3-door diesel with the manual, and it had the VXR body. Not the VXR body kit. It had the leather seats in it.
We had a 1.6 petrol manual. It was peppy for 100 horsepower. Yeah.
See,
100 horsepower don't go together.
Yeah.
It weighs nothing. I mean, it's quite a light little vehicle, and the manual gearbox is very good. It's not sluggish. It's not, mind you. I'm comparing that to the other only recent car I've been in. I've only been in 3 cars recently. That's been that weird van thing I've showed you, the Astra and the Prius. So I don't have a cleansed palate, I'd say.
No.
I'll tell you what, if that one that I found though was a petrol, I would have really, really considered it because it was a 2016. It was the most modern car I found in all my searches.
Mine was a 2006 plate. You can pick the 2006 ones up for £300 though.
That cheap. Wow.
Yeah, running with MOT.
With MOT.
Wow.
Yeah,
I could have bought spare cars.
You could have bought the entire group of fleet. Anyway, so you're all going in separate cars. So since 2 of you have low off-road stats, I'm going to give both of you. I'm going to say you guys have to roll a 12, and because Doug has a reasonably high off-road car, he just has to roll over a 4. So.
Okay.
Random number generator, don't screw me up, please.
Let's see. What do
So
we
I'll
do?
start with Doug because he's got bet. Doug got an 18. He got up the hill with no issues and can get a good view because he found some binoculars in the glove box.
Nice.
Right. Let's start with Cody. You want to go first?
Sure. Speed
9.
and power.
Good luck in your
9.
MG.
You have a go, but you fell off the hillside, but the car remained with very little damage except a couple of scuffs to the bumper.
Okay, I can live with that.
Layla, the Jag, you got 16, which means you managed to get up the hill. Yeah.
Nice!
Yay.
Can someone give me a toe? I think I'm
That
stuck.
is expected. I was not expecting to get up that hill.
You don't have enough power, Cody. That's the problem.
That's not.
Yeah, Doug and I both have V8s. That's it.
Yeah, I'll probably.
While Cody's stuck at the bottom of the hill, Layla and Doug look around, and all they can see, which they really should have expected, is city.
Okay, but can they see any ports? Wait, no, because we're on.
No,
Mexico.
you're on the border, quite
Yeah.
in the middle of Mexico. I don't know why you need some ports. I still don't get why you're looking for ports when you're looking for a McLaren.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, if all we see is city, I say we come back down off the hill and maybe keep a couple city blocks between us.
May I recommend that? I'm not supposed to do this, but you have a picture and you have some locals.
Oh.
You guys went around it the whole time. It's a massive city.
Hey, that would have been helpful. I wouldn't have went to
It's a massive city. Why did you not think?
Because it's kind of a bit thick.
Right. Getting down the hill shouldn't be a tough procedure for your cars. For a 4, Doug, you get 1 if you manage to mess that up. Don't know how. And Cody, you're already at the bottom of the hill.
Yep. So I can just watch. I can just sit back and watch.
Yeah. All right, Layla. You got 5. You barely make it down, and you crack your front bumper.
Oh.
It feels bad.
It's not in a way that it will stop you going, but it's just a little crack down the front.
Okay.
And Doug, you got 2. You also made it down with crack front bumper.
I was waiting for you to say I made it down the hill with steam blowing out my engine. Oh, yeah, anyway.
You were above the score, so only light damage, superficial damage. Right, you're back down a hill, and you found some roads. Where are you gonna? There's a few houses down the street you're up. So which? So are you gonna go and ask, or are you gonna go deeper into the city? Because you left the city to get up the hill.
I think we should split up. I think maybe Cody or Doug, one of us should do the houses on the street next to us, and then a couple of us can go into the city and ask around in the city.
All right.
Split up.
All right.
So we're going to basically go door to door in Mexico, asking for stolen McLaren F1.
No, it was bought.
It was my car breaking down. I'm worried about getting shot. Okay.
No, the McLaren F1 wasn't stolen. It was actually purchased legally-ish. Not with legal money, but legally.
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna vote that I go to the city. I'm hoping that with my Typhoon pearlescent color, people will stop and look at the car, and then while
I
they're looking
should have
at the
added
car,
a charisma score to the cars. Tell you what, I'll add that now. And I'll say it out loud since you're
Mine is going to probably lose that somewhat.
No, you got a good car in a boring color. I'll say you've got an average. I'm sorry, Doug, but with that faded paint, you just look like a drug dealer. You get 3. You get a low score, and tell you what, Typhoon Blue in a mint-looking MG, I'd say Cody gets high because he's got a nice car. Look like a little bit of a yob, but it still look alright.
Seems to be perfectly there.
That section, okay.
Yeah.
So I just basically blend in with everybody else then.
Yeah.
I don't want to deface Mexico. I don't want to say bad things about Mexico because I've heard it's been better than recently. But yeah, I think not too many years ago, you would be right.
Mm-hmm.
So you split up. I'm gonna just put a pin marker randomly on the city to see who goes where. Right. That's quite far out. That's in the middle of the city. So I'd say Cody went to. All the roads are dirt. I didn't realise that. I've zoomed in a bit more. All the roads are dirt or very poorly paved. They go into this kind of multiple small buildings strung together. A couple of them look run down. A couple of them look a bit more well kept. And you knock on the door, and someone answers. What you do? What are you gonna say?
I'm gonna
You have
go
a translator with you.
Spanish and go. Oh.
I think this is Cody's.
Oh.
Oh. No habla español. McLaren
No, you
F1. Where?
You got a translator.
Oh, I got a translator? Okay, cool. Hi. Looking for a McLaren F1. Have you ever seen it in your life? And if you have, where?
You do realise these aren't they aren't necessarily car enthusiasts. But you
Well,
have a
point
picture.
to the picture.
Yeah.
Over here.
They say they have don't know, but they saw a sleek-looking car in this town a couple of years ago.
Okay, so that one's a bit of a bust.
All right.
Cody, if I could just offer some advice. They say they saw a sleek-looking car a couple of years ago. You can ask them if they can remember where they saw that.
Chassis 039 was a purple car.
Okay.
Okay.
So if I'm still there, I'd like to amend, where have you seen this car? And we can just edit this in this McLaren.
They said on the main road going through the city. Route 15.
Okay.
Galerus Cortines, apparently, Apple Maps says.
So now Cody has a main street to go down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Which one of you two want to take a punt at the random wherever my finger goes? You're going.
I'll take a punt.
All right. You're on the other. you're about similar distance away on the other side of the street in a lot more populated looking area with a bit better roads. You go into this reasonably large house, which is still not very well kept, but kept reasonably. You knock on the door, and a woman answers the door.
No one answers?
No, a woman holding a child answers the door.
Okay, and I have a translator, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've got translators and one cameraman each. And there's a Land Cruiser there's a Land Cruiser camera vehicle, which I've tried not to include, but if you guys get stuck somehow, and all of three of you get stuck, you have an outright after.
Okay, so I think I have a photo of that F1. Do I have a map somewhat of the city?
You have a smartphone with signal, so you can bring up a map if you need.
Okay, so I can ask the lady. So hi, I'm looking for a sports car that was abandoned, sleek looking, kind of loud engine. Have you seen anything that looks like that? And I can point to the photo.
Oh yeah. Right. She says she saw a dark purple loud car somewhere in the. I can't tell what these are. The large buildings, and I think they're warehouses. Slightly south from where you guys are now.
Oh, that's a clue and a half.
So.
It wasn't parked up. It was driving through them though, and she said it wasn't the same color as the car in the picture. It was another dark shade.
Okay.
Huh. Okay. But then maybe this other car that she saw was also owned by a drug cartel, or maybe the same one that owns the F1.
Hmm.
So.
Doug, you're left.
Check
You
out
want to have
those
a punt?
warehouses.
My turn.
Yeah. You are a bit south of where Layla was. In a even better kept neighborhood, and you go outside this kind of residential house.
Okay.
So I'm judging the quality of the houses off the roofs because that's all I could see on Apple Maps.
Okay. Since we have smartphones, I want to do something a little different. I want to bring up Google Maps.
Yeah.
And I want to locate the highest end car dealership they have. Because you said it was bought legally, but with illegal money. So therefore it has to be bought.
We know this. They bought it from McLaren in Britain.
Oh, well, see, we need to know that kind of information.
But that dealer maybe still.
Do you think?
I don't know. Maybe they.
Do you
imported
think early 90s Mexico is going to have a very good dealer network? And that dealer network is also
dealer network they got. Oh, dealer network they have.
Okay.
Well, I guess I go knock on doors since we don't have a dealership available. So I take my.
There must be a dealer. If you want to go to a dealership, there must be one somewhere around here. But I don't think it's going to be that much value to you.
Okay, fair enough. I'll go with it. So I go knock on doors with my translator.
Yeah.
And
What do you ask?
What would I ask? Knowing me, it'd probably be something pretty goofy, like
Just point and say where.
yeah. Where does the drug cartel like dump stuff they don't want anymore? You know, like bodies.
That would actually be a good question.
Oh, and then
they say
neighborhood. Are they part of the drug cartel? That way they could help.
I'm pretty sure you would. The
Like
person says no, but advises you not to ask that because you'd get shot.
That would make a great episode on that.
And on that bombshell, Doug tragically died.
Anyway.
Tonight on Bottom Gear.
Tonight on Bottom, Doug gets shot. And Layla and Cody fail to find an old McLaren F1.
And Layla gets up a hill with a Jag.
And
Somehow.
And Cody doesn't make it up the hill.
The person,
Fails to make it up.
Exactly.
the person says there is a field a bit away that the drug cartel used to own and could probably use to get rid of things near its area called Sari.
Well, I'm in four-wheel drive. I'm all about driving through a field. Let's go.
Well, there's a lot of roads to get there first. So, which lead are you guys going to split up completely and take each other's lead, or are you going to go all one at a time?
I'd imagine we would rendezvous and then just kind of compare notes. And if you ask me, Doug's got the most concrete lead. So, because mine's from years ago, so mine's a dead end.
Well, we
And
don't
mine-
know if
The
it could
White
be
House
easier
got
to
some
go as well.
results too. So mine is not too promising either.
So, one of you has got to go to a warehouse, another one's got to go to a main street, and Doug, you have quite the drive. So, before we talk about Doug's experiences, let's start with Layla. She arrives at the port, not port, it's a warehouse, the warehouse district, and has a poke around the parking area, sees nothing fancy except a reasonably modern BMW. And, yeah, what do you take from there?
Since I see that somewhat modern, somewhat nice looking, I'm guessing BMW, that could be someone that was maybe affiliated with, or maybe even a part of the drug cartel, because they do make.
May I just
of
note that
money.
I'm not the one who's saying all these stereotypes about Mexico. It's the other three.
You absolve yourself.
I'm not.
Sorry.
You guys, I don't know what it. I don't know much about Mexico because I'm across the waters from them. But America seems to have some pretty descriptive stereotypes, I would say.
Well, I live quite close to Mexico because I'm in
Well-
Texas, so it's just like a few hours away.
Hold on, is the border town in Texas? No, the border I think is in Arizona.
Yeah, I think it's Arizona. Then there's one in California as well,
And New
San
Mexico.
Diego. Yeah.
and New Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, so you look around the BMW. No one seems apparently near, but there are a few workers at the port.
Okay.
Warehouse.
I'm trying not to say anything.
Warehouse is good.
So since I see these people just doing some work at the warehouse, I go with the translator and I ask them who owns the BMW and if anyone slightly more fancy looking or slightly more official looking has shown up in
They
the last few days.
They say it's their boss, but he's going to be out for a little. They said he's going to be out for a little bit as it's his break. So I'd say we'll leave that there for now, and we'll go to Cody because Doug is still driving.
Okay.
Cody, you're on the main road now.
Okay.
You're driving up and down it. Nothing seems to catch your eye, vehicle-wise. But you see quite a few shops, and I'm trying to pick out. And you see a very comparatively quite modern-looking dessert shop, comparatively to everything else on the street. Very clean, very tidy.
Okay.
That's the only thing of interest.
Okay, so if there's nothing on the street, and I imagine that clean shop is a bit new, I'm not gonna go there immediately. I'm gonna go to a few of the other shops and ask some of the shop owners if they've seen a car prowling down the main street or seen this car prowling down the main street.
A couple of shop owners say they saw a black, what they describe driving down the street a couple of years ago, coinciding with the other person's description. Although, remember, non-car people could just be calling any supercar a Lamborghini.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. See, and any car that's red, say, "Oh look, that's a Ferrari." Oh wait, no, it's not.
Any red sports car, yeah. Corvette, Ferrari. Yeah.
Honda NSX, Ferrari.
Yeah. Yep.
That's true.
Okay. So, I went to all the other shops. Let's have a gander at the new shop and see what they say.
The new shops, they haven't they haven't been around a while, but they heard stories of the car and lots of theories. One of the theories points to the same barn that Doug is currently still on his way to, because that's a bloody long drive. And another one, yeah. Another one says it's a bit further down, away near the coast at the Gulf of California, a small town called Puerto Lobos.
Okay. All right, so I guess I'm gonna go to Puerto Lobos.
Cool. So Layla's. I'll just go back to Layla because Doug still hasn't made it yet. It's supposed to be 2 hours. I'm trying to just move around in a time frame that works kind of realistically. So Layla, the person gets back. He's just wearing a nice suit, with a reasonably looking tie. Doesn't look out of place at all for an average BMW driver, except he doesn't have the Bluetooth.
Okay, so he's pretty,
Pretty snazzy.
pretty snazzy looking. Has a BMW. No Bluetooth earpiece, but that's okay. So I ask him if anyone has come by. Well, okay. First of all, I ask him how long he's been employed, though. And
he says he's worked there a short time, and he hands you a business card, which is Cemex, which is a Mexican cement company.
Okay. So then I ask him who was the boss before he was the boss.
He says that boss has left, and he doesn't know.
Okay. So no info on the old boss. So then I guess I'll just kind of see if he has any knowledge about if any snazzy looking 2-door coupe sports car looking vehicle has been dropped off or driven through any of the warehouses since he has been employed at that warehouse.
He smugly looks at his BMW and says that the only one that's been here is his BMW and his boss's Mercedes before him.
Okay. So that's kind of a dead end.
So I think, Layla, the best thing for you to do now is to join Cody on trip down to...
Yeah. I think I'll...
Actually, I forgot to roll the dice for Doug's trip because he has a high unreliability score, so I'm gonna have to roll you again, I think.
Oh no.
Doug, not Cody. Cody. I'm talking about Doug. You have a low reliability score, so I'm gonna roll you. I'm gonna say you need higher than 8 to actually make it to your destination.
Okay.
Doug gets a 7.
God dang it! No.
So I almost made it.
Yeah.
He's close.
Doug's air suspension collapses 80% the way through the journey.
What collapses?
Air suspension.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's gonna be a rough ride now.
The car is undrivable as the wheels just rub the arches.
Well, it's not undrivable. It's just
No, as in it's butting up against the arches. There's more friction on the arches than there is on the ground.
Okay, so I have a suggestion since my car's broke down.
What?
Find a workshop and cue the music. Oh.
Actually, I have a better idea. Since my warehouse
Failed, you're going to go down and pick up, but you also don't have the greatest reliability score, so I'm going to set you the same goal as that. See where this goes.
Let's see if I make it.
You got 10. You made it down, but there's a low oil pressure warning light.
Low oil pressure. So I'll join Doug.
Not oil pressure, sorry. Low coolant pressure.
Oh no.
So I'll join Doug in the workshop, mend my coolant pressure, and then carry on going to the field.
Hold on. You have to tow this to the workshop. Are you going to risk towing the Range Rover for 12 points?
I have to tow his. Oh, I do.
Yeah, because his car's dead.
Oh.
Do you want to risk it, or do you want to ditch the Range Rover for now?
No, I'm gonna ditch it. He can hop in the Jag with me, and we go to a workshop, get my coolant fixed, and then carry on.
Alright, I'm going to do a secret random number generator for how well his car ditches. It's a 5. The car gets vandalized.
Oh no.
Not
Vandalized?
terribly vandalized. The Range Rover gets some little bit of spray paint on the side while the drag is being fixed. Drag's fixed, working fine now. Meanwhile, Cody, you seem to have got pretty close to the. I'm not even going to bother rolling you because you have quite a reliable car, even by normal car standards, not just British cars. So you make it to the town without any issues. It's right next to the sea, and there is a few roads across and a few down. Best way to describe it, if you ever played GTA 5, it's like Sandy Shores.
Okay, I understand that. Okay.
Except with a little bit of grass.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess I head down to the not sandy shores then and start poking around there.
You're at the Sandy Shores. You go down a couple of streets and go to this little caravan park, trailer park, I think it is. And you look around for anyone. You look behind. There's a car under the sheets.
Ooh. Okay, promising. Good start. I guess I hop out and walk to it then.
How about walk to it? Nothing spectacular except a bit of chrome catches you.
Okay. I guess I pull the sheets off then. Just put my stuff
you pull
out.
the sheets off, and before you get a proper look at the car, someone's running around the back of the trailer and shouting at you and swearing in Spanish.
Okay. So I stop doing what I'm doing. I get my translator and try to explain the situation and then apologize for being so rash.
Everything works out. Actually, that seemed like a role play. So if this ends badly, you're gonna get shot.
Yeah.
You score a 14. Everything seems to be going all right. You explain your situation. They said take a look at the car, take a couple of pictures, but then get the hell away from my house afterwards. So you take the covers off completely, and what unveils your eyes is a classic Toyota 2000 GT that was originally sent to Puerto Rico, but then had been taken to shipped to Mexico.
Great
It's in
find!
a beautiful red. It's in a beautiful red, but the trailer park owner says he owns it, and you can't take it.
Priorities. He's got his priorities straight. Cool car, lives in a small house. You'd love to see it.
It's completely faded paint and it looks like it's sat for a while.
So I guess I get the hell away from there then, and
you notice something in one of the pictures as you're scuppering away to the MG, which is a bit of a couple of pictures in the rear boot lid area. Do you risk going to have another go at looking at those pictures in the rear boot lid area thing?
yes, I go. Well, what I do is I go ask them because I noticed the pictures. Can I look at those? And then if they say yes, I'll have a look. No, I'll just go away.
10. He said, "Sure, but be quick because I have a pistol." Yeah, and have a look at the pictures. One is obviously a picture of the 2000 GT, and another one seems to be a couple of low-slung cars strung together, and it looks like a picture taken on a potato camera of the early 90s. It's about the right time. What do you want to do next?
Okay, so I've looked at the photos.
Hmm.
Alright, I'll run back to the MG, get out of there, and then analyze in my head what those photos actually look like.
You took a look at the MG. It looked like the car had being unloaded, and it looked in a similar area. It looked to be in a bit of a bit more of a grassy area than the one you're in, and a bit lusher looking grass. You look on the map, and there is a big field near Puerto Libertad, which is a little bit greener than where you were. So I guess you start driving down there.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Right.
Over with Doug and Layla now to see how they're getting on.
First, actually, yeah, we'll do that first. Doug and Layla have finally made it to a field.
That's where they bury the bodies.
That's where all the stuff goes down.
Yeah. May I since me and Leela is now in the same car,
Yeah.
I have an idea as well. Since the dealership idea wasn't as brilliant as I hoped. Anyway, I
What?
think we go to.
I thought you guys were going to go back and pick up the Range Rover afterwards, like with a fixed Jag. That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
That would
And it-
lose so many points, though, wouldn't it?
Huh?
Wouldn't that cause some point deduction? Or some low points?
Well, it's a random number generator. You could make it there with both cars intact, or you could have a massive engine failure on the Jag. It's up to RNG.
You know, I don't know what Doug's thinking, but what I'm thinking is we should probably go back and get Doug's Range Rover. Because we will have a better chance, statistically, if we go back, get it fixed.
You find a trailer somewhere around the back of the shop, and you drive to Doug's car. I think I'm going to roll 20. You tow the car without any damage whatsoever, and you find the vandals have left a trusty sledgehammer for you.
Knockers and a sledgehammer. We can get some stuff done.
Yeah.
Turn this Range Rover
We're
into
actually
a
ended up
defender.
helping us quite a bit.
Okay, now I
So
have
you-
an idea. If
So
I
you
can.
go.
Okay,
Well,
the McLaren F1. We ought to go check out them like we buy gold stores or jewelry stores, because I'm betting there's somebody in there with a file taking the gold lining out of the engine bay.
that is a 2-hour drive back in 2 cars that have already broken down on this trip.
Well, depending on how things go, if the
Well,
if the
why
field
don't you
doesn't-
guys visit the field first? I'm kind of guiding this a bit along because I kind of know roughly where I want it to end.
Yeah.
So,
So we're going to the undisclosed graveyard is where we're going.
Yeah.
well, it's an undisclosed
What's
field.
that?
They didn't necessarily say graveyard. You guys turn in and you drive down about half a mile worth of road to this old barn house. There looks to be a little trailer next to it, and there looks to be a little garage behind it. There are signs saying "Keep out."
The little garage is where they killed the people.
If there's a sign saying keep out, there's probably something hiding. Which it could be a McLaren F1.
Could also be. Do you guys go in?
We have a scout now, and there's a fair chance that there could be some important information in those, so yeah.
Okay.
You have 10 feet.
First off, I'll get out of the car, and I'm going to take my big binoculars, and I'm just going to look at the house through the window, see what I can see.
The house looks pretty deserted except for a room light that's still on, and a running tap sitting somewhere. The barn looks like there's nothing out of order except a giant padlock which looks like it's sat there for 1,000,000 years.
Okay, but overall it looks pretty much empty.
Yeah.
Except for a light and a running tap.
Yeah.
So they don't worry about the water bill.
And they don't know about the light bill either.
Evidently not. But if you only got one light, it's their grow light. Anyway, sorry. I say we just go check it out, see what happens.
You guys check it out. You encounter another person who's equally as angry as they were with Cody and his sniffing around, and they said, "You can't go inside the barn. Go away."
What do you want to do, Leela?
We should go and check and see if they have a weapon.
Yeah, did they come out with like a machete or something?
Yeah, do they come up with any weapons, evidence, weapons?
Nothing really except a normal kitchen knife.
Okay, that's not too bad.
I
Well,
think,
that depends.
I think we can survive a stabbing.
So what we're gonna have to do is have him roll dice to see how bad our stab wounds are.
Random number generator coming right up.
Wait. No, you said random normal kitchen knife. Now that's a very broad. We have a lot of kitchen knives. Now we have little pair of knives that have a blade that big, and then we got some cleavers that can take your arm off, and we got some big slicing knives that could do some damage, man.
And we have
the biggest non-cleaver knife, the one you'd kind of use for chopping, not bony meat, but meat with some cartilage in it and stuff.
Okay, well, since he has a knife, I'm getting the sledgehammer out of the car.
You guys have completely forgotten you have translators.
See, Doug is going for violence. I went for diplomacy.
Well, I figure while he's murdering my translator, I'll check the barn.
The translator calms things down to say they're part of a TV show. They show the cameraman and the Land Cruiser's out following behind to watch the Range Rover break down, as they inevitably knew it would. And the people say, "Get off! I don't want a doc." Still say, "Get off! I don't want a documentary." The cameras can have one peek inside, but no one else is allowed in.
Okay, so we have the cameras go in and check it out for a couple quick minutes, and then we leave. And then once we leave, we ask them to play that footage of what they saw.
One of the cameraman that went in gets in the back of the Range Rover, and you guys review the footage. There seems to be a weird number that looks a bit like a positioning coordinate on a piece of paper in the back of a 1970s MG.
Okay.
So we go to that coordinate.
Right.
That's the coordinate that the F1 is at, that the McLaren F1 is at.
Actually, sorry. I tell you what, I'm going to change a bit, touch of the story to make it a bit more plausible. 1980s Toyota Land Cruiser, not an MG. I keep putting fancy cars in there, and I don't know why.
Okay.
Because, yeah. So, which coordinate? So, the coordinate is a few miles away at a small town called San Pedro. It's a very small town, and it's not too far. It's about the same distance from the starting location to the barn you guys have got. Actually, no, it's about 3 times the distance. So you've got a long drive ahead of you. Actually, I think Cody's nearer to it at the time being.
So then let's have Cody go to it. Because he has an MG that has a fully functioning engine. Yeah. And he's close to it. So let's just have him pop down, though. And then,
Is there any off-roady bits? I'm trying to check on the maps. Quite a bit of it's off-road. Alright. RNG. I'm gonna put number 10. So you got to get more than 10. You got 10. You made it there with more scuffs on your bumper.
You hate to see it, but we made it.
And a weird fluid leaking out the back.
With what fluid?
Leaking out the back.
Strange fluid leaking out the back.
It's probably
no, that was me. That's my fluid leaking out.
All right, I think you saved yourself there. Sometimes you got to trade dignity for running for a McLaren F1.
All right,
you turn up outside this little town, and there are tiny houses, and there are some dirt tracks going in between the houses. You go down and look around. You see a couple of barns and one building that looks like a dedicated garage.
Okay.
All 3 are locked.
Okay. So, instead of the first time where I made the mistake, I'm going to see if I can find anyone who owns these properties, and then ask them to have a look.
They're next to houses, all of them. They're all next to houses as well.
Okay, well, I'll go to the houses, then.
You knock on the door, and a man comes out, and he asks what you're doing. He seems to have a strap across his chest with something on the back of it.
Gun.
Yep. Okay, I explain the situation, but prepare to knock him out and then run.